Good afternoon, everyone. We're just doing a quick live this afternoon to have a look at how much deeper and how depraved our Irish members of Garda Síochána, how low they can go and the depths to which they will delve. And it looks like they also want to make money on the death of their colleague and friend and a member of Garda Síochána who lost in the course of a horrific robbery at Lordship Credit Union. As you can see, we're looking at the Sunday Independent here. This is from yesterday, so today is Monday the 29th of April, and we're just going to have a little look at what has taken place in our newspapers over the course of the weekend, and we can see a concerted effort by the media and on Garda Síochána and the DPP, obviously, because they must sanction all this, to cover the tracks. And I know I keep repeating myself, but it is a continuous unbelievable disbelief that these people can go to these depths to try and protect themselves. So we're having a look at, there was a double page spread. I put it up here behind me. I'm not sure if you can see it. Well, about the book Mother at Lordship. Without saying a word or giving any warning, he pulled the trigger. So we're just actually going to have a look at one paragraph at a time. I'm going to have a look at this paragraph here. It's marked paragraph A. Hopefully you can see that on Facebook. I'm not behind the camera, but I can't see exactly just how good a view you have of that. But it's in the Sunday Independent and it can be found. So the paragraph I have highlighted there, I'll just read it out to you. Mary Hanlon would later tell Gardaí that the driver, who she initially believed was a woman with blonde hair wearing a black beanie hat, had their eyes fixed straight ahead and their hands tightly gripped on the steering wheel. Now, anyone reading that there from Pat Murray and Robin Shillrer would think that Mary Hanlon in some way they would believe who she initially believed was a woman. Right? Very simply, I'm just going to read some of Mary Hanlon's statement. I saw Pat starting to move, so I started to drive off. So Pat's car was Pat Bellew, her co-worker at Lordship Credit Union. I was still on the phone at this stage. As I approached the credit union gate to go into Dundalk, this car pulled and blocked the way. I think the car was a dark grey Volkswagen Passat, 4-door. So it's dark grey. So as we have always said, for example, James Flynn is now serving 9 years for conspiracy to steal a blue car that was allegedly used in the Morton robbery. And the main eyewitness says it's a dark grey car. Notwithstanding that, I don't want to be moving away from today's paragraph. I didn't see the registration as I only got a side view. There was only one person in the car, and that was the driver. I think it was a female with short blonde hair. She was wearing a beanie hat. What did these two clowns say? That their eyes was, that blonde hair wearing beanie, and their eyes was fixed straight ahead. She was looking straight ahead and never looked at me. Their eyes were fixed straight ahead. They've changed the evidence. They've tampered with evidence. It's contempt to the people of Ireland, to the public of Ireland, who this once renowned newspaper is now printing. So initially, and we will continue to warn and ask the question, how has the sub-editor and the editors, will you allow this to happen, to continue to see, because there's 320 pages in Mary and Shiller's book. And I would suggest that in most of those pages, in the vast majority of those pages, we will find information has been tampered with, changed, and it is factually incorrect. I don't know what clothes she was wearing. She was just looking straight ahead and never looked at me. She was a young enough person, and I think she was in her 20s or 30s, I'd say. She was a white woman, I'd say Irish. The Volkswagen Passat was facing the Dundalk direction. I was still talking to my friend on the phone, and I heard the two shots. The shots came from the direction of my far left. I told my friend I had to go and hung up. After I heard the shots, fellas wearing dark clothes ran past my passenger door and got into the back passenger door of the Passat. I'm not sure if he was carrying anything or if he was wearing a balaclava. I then looked to my left and saw another fella jumping over the wall at the front of the car park and out into the main road. He was wearing green combat bottoms. So the woman had a good concept of what was going on in front of her. There's quite a lot of detail in this statement. He had a long thing in his hand, which I thought was a gun. I don't know what kind, but it was a gun. This gun was the length of his leg, I'd say. The man had no difficulty getting over the wall. He looked like an athletic fella. He was tall enough. Again, I'm not going to stray into the other information as regards the height of the man who shot him, or the detective Garda and the height of Aaron's build. I didn't see his face, and I don't know what else he was wearing. When this man got over the wall, another guy did the same thing. I don't know what he was wearing. It was dark clothing anyway. Now, we have to ask the question, as I say, of the editors and the sub-editors. And these people who are overseeing what Shillrer and Pat Murray are feeding to the Irish public must hold some responsibility and ask when, in the belief of Murray and Shillrer, when did this woman, Mary Hanlon, change her mind? Because now we're going to move on to the 15th of February. So this is 3 weeks. This woman has been debriefed, and you'll hear her statement from the 15th of February. Now this is about 3 weeks after the event. I saw Pat's lights in my rear view mirror, so I moved off towards the exit. I don't know if Pat's car was facing in or out at the time. As I pulled into the exit, the car pulled in front of the exit. Pat wasn't behind me yet. I would not have moved until he was behind me, and there was plenty of opportunity for the three cars to move together. I was still on the phone to my friend. My lights were shining down to the car that was stopping in the exit. My first thought was, what is that stupid bitch stopping for there? She marked her place to park. I don't think she was on the phone. She definitely was not holding the phone to her ear. I really expected her to pull out her phone or answer. That's really what I thought she had stopped there for. My impression of the car was that it was a dark grey Passat. This is 3 weeks later. Pat Murray and Fort Apache Incident Room would have debriefed this woman very carefully, and rightly so, considering the trauma this lady had gone through and been a part of and been involved in. And 3 weeks later, she is still saying it's a dark grey car. James Flynn is in prison for conspiracy to steal a blue car that was allegedly used in the Northern robbery, when the evidence is abundantly clear that it was a grey vehicle. And when we move on to Joe Ryan's how he speaks into the to the base to give information, it will really throw light on it and show what these two clowns, Murray and Shillrer, are really up to here. I don't think she was on the phone. Yes, apologies. My impression was the car that I had a side view of it only. I didn't see any badges or logos. The driver was looking straight ahead towards them. Now, this is on the 15th of February. My first instinct, and my instinct now, is that it was a woman. She was not the 16-year-old that they were talking about in the papers. I would say she was the same age as the lads, maybe. So no ambiguity whatsoever. I could see her side view. Short blonde hair with a beanie cap. Her hair was really blonde. The hair was down above, sort of round her ears. I was not It was not short like mine. It was all the one length and above. She did not have a balaclava on. Apologies. The hair was at least an inch down under the cap. I could only see the side of her head. I can't say what her jawline or neck was like or what she was wearing. She was not there that long, not even long enough to annoy me. She was not holding me back because Pat's car was not behind me, so we were not ready to go. So I didn't blow the horn or flashlights or anything like that. I didn't see I didn't see that at the time. It just did not register with me, other than she was pulled in to make a call. I was in my hairdressers in Dundalk shopping centre in Dundalk last Friday, and someone showed me a picture on Facebook of what was supposed to be the driver of the getaway car. This picture was of a girl with ringlets, long blonde hair. It definitely was not the person I seen in the Passat parked in front of me at Lordship that night. The hair was completely different. I have been trying to consider if it was a fella dressed as a girl. I have. I want to go for that again. I have been trying to consider if it was a fella dressed as a girl or even a fella with a blonde hair. I don't really know. All I can say is that I automatically refer to her as her, and my first and lasting impression is that she was a woman. She kept looking straight ahead towards the door. I believe she was deliberately not making eye contact with me. She timed it very well to pull into the gate at the same time as me whenever she came from. So there's no doubt there from that statement. She is being questioned. She is being questioned in relation to was it a man or was it a woman? Her lasting impression is that it was a woman. She kept looking straight ahead towards the dog. I believe she was deliberately there and did not make eye contact with me. I have been over and over that night and what happened in my head, and I am still in the same place. I still think it was a woman in the Passat. I still think there were three fellas, one carrying a gun and the one carrying the other long thing, which I don't know what it was. So Pat Murray and Robin Shillrer have seen fit to change this lane, changes the whole complex of this case, who she initially believed was a woman. It is so disrespectful, and it is so. I really can't find the words to say what these people have done to the memory of Detective Garda Adrian Donahue. There was reference to a young girl who we believe at that time, Mary Hanlon was shown a picture in hairdressers in the dog, and that was Aaron's girlfriend at the time. And I would invite the Irish public search for on Garda Síochána looking for a woman driver, and this is April, May, and June 2013. And I have here. This is just a little extract from search warrants. There was used in a number of houses, including our house here when it was searched. But one of the items that was of notice and what those searching the properties were looking for, photographs of white females with short blonde hair. That is what was on the search warrants. And these two men, Shillrer and Murray, have decided to say who she initially believed was a woman. Now, this is only one tiny paragraph in a double page spread. And we will go through it in fine detail. We'll go through Pat Murray's book, and we'll do the same with Murray's book as we how he analysed and broke down the making of a detective podcast he created with Stephen Breen. Now, at some stage, some of these, I can't insult these people enough. Pat Murray, you're a liar. Robin Shillrer, you're a dirty, disgusting gutter journalist. because of what you've done here. There can be no other description for it. And if Mary or Shillrer, the Irish Independent, or the media house, media group, who owns all these papers anyway, there's none of them independently owned anymore. Sue the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign. You're liars. You purge yourself, Mary. You're a disgrace to the Irish Garda. You're a disgrace to the Irish state. I don't know what I don't want to swear against this. I just whatever defamation anyone can think of, that is what I am directing towards Mary and Shillrer this morning. As much defamation as you want, and we can go into a court of law and we can examine the paragraphs and the pages used two men have printed, and totally destroyed the memory of a man who lost his life during the course of duty to make a few pounds. You're better off writing children's books or something, because that is fucking disgusting. And you just want to make clickbait journalism for clickbait prosecution. And Pat Mary's walking away like a fucking hero. There's one man incarcerated, a man at 5'7" is incarcerated for a crime committed by someone over 6'1" or 2. 5 people committed the crime in association with others who may have been involved on the periphery. That has been accepted, I think, by everyone. And there's one man in prison. And Pat Mary wants to stand up in public and get his back slapped. The narcissism and the self-indulgence is unfathomable. I would say it's unreadable in that man's own mind. And I'll just take you back to the piece on the primetime program where Mary was sitting in a rocking chair looking out at a lake somewhere, and he says approximately 5 people came forward in America. The clown didn't even know, the most important case in the history of the Irish state, the clown didn't even know how many people came forward, because he knew the whole thing in America was a shambles and total coercion, which we have proven beyond any reasonable doubt. So we'll be looking again more at this, no doubt. This may be only part 1. There could be part 2 of it, but we'll get into the book as and when the time is right, and we will show clearly that it is, the whole thing is just a crock of shite, and those 2 men should be hanging their head in shames. You are a disgrace. You're a clickbait gutter journalist, and your sub-editor and your editor must ask the questions. Is the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign, is the information they are putting out about Mary Hanlon's statement correct? Have you changed the factual statement of an eyewitness? Yes, you have. That is what we're saying. So that, I don't know what that constitutes in any newspaper or any publication that would have any self-respect or have any ethics as regards public information. So thank you for watching. We have loads to cover this in the book, and we've the ongoing court case, which we're heading to now in Dublin, the other shit show with the unfortunate Dean Byrne, who's been made a scapegoat for the Irish authorities once again. But we'll continue to bring you more information on that also. Thank you all for watching, and no doubt we'll see you all again in the next video. Please like, comment, share. We've been very heavily shadow banned, and all our social media sites have been attacked. Please help us like, comment, and share. Thank you, and we'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.